case UCI v. Bakke is one of the cases concerning affirmative action. Bakke, who is a student with high grades and test scores who is older than the average medical student, was applying to various medical schools and kept getting rejected. He applied to the University of California Medical School twice and got rejected both times. He sued due to the affirmative action that the university has unfairly rejected him, and if it were not for affirmative action that he would have been accepted to the medical school. This was then presented to the Supreme Court. In the courtroom, the petitioner argued that the inclusion of minorities would be done through trial and error at the universities and that some creativity in how this process works should be allowed. This should not be made into regulated laws. All students of all walks of life should have a place in the professional colleges if they have the merits to do it. Some of the arguments were about eliminating racial injustice and why these programs are important for that purpose. At that time, there were not a lot of students who were of minorities in medical schools. Mr. Bakke's lawyer argued that Bakke was a victim of reverse racism and that he was left out due to being white. This case proved to be divisive. Even the court justices were divided on various parts of this case. They were divided on whether the university should consider race in their admissions. And they were also divided on whether Bakke should be accepted into the medical school. Justice Marshall said that the client has rights, but also underprivileged people should also have the same rights. Lasting effects. Overall, the decision ended up being in favor of the affirmative action because it was considered by the court to be a good remedy or solution to help solve racial injustice. Affirmative action had been part of the USA academics for the past few decades, and universities were basically granted by this court case. Others similar to it at that time, the right to consider race in their acceptance criteria. I think that most of these cases from back in the 70s believed that after some time affirmative action would no longer be necessary. They hoped that after some time, the academic fields would be equally available to everyone despite their race. Unfortunately, this is still not true in the US, but a lot of good advancements have happened within minorities. I think that there may have to be different methods to help minorities be able to be prepared for professional careers similar to their other peers who are not minorities.